Okay, I guess we can start. Roll call. We've got myself, Barbara, Alan, Paul, who's going to recuse himself on the public hearing. Tom, Rich is not here, Aaron is here, and Jessica is here. And let's see. First thing on our regular business agenda is minutes from the June. Has everybody had a chance to review those?
Yes.
Yes, and I have a couple of things I want to,
Okay.
and on page 3, well, that was page 2, where it says Barbara Harmon asked for details of 55 North Cove Road. I think we ought to specify that that was a recent application, COA application concerning the windows, which was approved. I think we should specify that.
Okay,
Okay.
regarding windows, and that was approved.
The application was
The application was approved.
right, because it mattered how we handled the matter before us at this last meeting.
Okay,
Then on page 3, where Aaron talked about a bar going across the bottom of the windows, anybody's welcome to disagree with me, but I thought it might be good to specify across the bottom of the, she'd like to see a bar go across the bottom of the windows. But I thought she said also the door, so that would be in line with the adjoining windows.
Yeah, it was just trying to line up.
Right, so I thought we should specify that.
oh, okay. That's good.
And then further down over under the old business, I reported about the interpretive sign. And it says Aaron and Ann will be included in the photo. I think we should specify Aaron Sleva and Ann Bowl. She's not a member of our commission. And when it just says Ann, it's like, who's that? And then on page 4, sorry.
No, that's okay.
On page 4, the very last about the topic of materials, I thought it might better read something like there might need to be an update on materials for approval, particularly aluminum clad versus vinyl clad windows, because that's the specific thing we've had come up.
Yep.
So
Thank you.
yes, thank you.
Yeah, I will make sure.
And that's all I had.
They'll be in the next, this meeting's minutes.
Okay.
Okay, with those changes, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. I guess, were you there, Alan? Let's see.
I was not. I just realized as I said that. I think I can't,
Okay.
I can't do that, Todd. I'll retract from that.
All
There we
right.
go.
First motion.
Yeah, Aaron, you were there. You could.
Yeah, second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Any correspondence?
Going back to the minutes, I have a question. On page 2, it says that William Childress distributed double-sided page of corrections for the Historic District Commission handbook. I wasn't here. Was that something that we were supposed to address at the staff level?
It was you had put it in the tray. It was something to add in because there was a typo or something. It was just
Oh, that was
page 3 and 4 together. It was just a replacement page.
that was from a while ago, wasn't it? Okay.
We didn't have a meeting for a
Right,
long
right.
time.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was it. It was a convoluted paragraph there in one of the sections, and it was pretty easy to determine what they meant to say.
Understood. Okay.
So that's what that was.
Okay. Yeah, so beyond that, there was a request for exemption, which was approved by our building inspector for 100 North Cove Road for a generator. And I've been in touch with Stacy at Preservation CT and Mary from SHPO, and they are available for a workshop on October 21st. They could present at the October meeting. As long as everyone's okay with that, I will say it's a go, and we put that on the agenda.
That sounds fine.
Can you just give me that date again?
It's the next, the October meeting, so October 21st.
Okay. That presentation.
Okay, anything else under committee, staff, etc.? If not, we'll move on to the public hearings, and there is one, which is an application for a certificate of appropriateness as to exterior features for window replacement on the west side, installation of shutters on the east side, lattice fencing on the west side, and 3-rail cedar fencing along the west property line, 142 North Cove Road, map 32, lot 60-6. Owner applicant Paul J. Nerum and Gregory J. Nickett. And we're going to open the public hearing tonight. Aaron, would you sit for Paul on this?
Yes.
Finally get a chance to be a voting member. Okay. So with that, the members seated will be myself, Barbara, Alan, Tom, and Aaron. And Paul, if you want to go ahead with your application, we'll open the public hearing.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I'm Paul Canero. This house and I are owners of 142 North Cove Road. We're back here. This perhaps our fourth trip to the commission as we tried to bring the house up to speed, maintain, improve, etc. Fairly minor details, I think, this time around in comparison to our major renovation a couple of years ago. And just to reiterate, for the sake of clarity, I am recusing myself as a member of the commission from the public hearing, and obviously from deliberations on the petitions as well. As the chair pointed out, there are 4 elements to our proposal. There are attached to the application, before I describe those, photographs of the street facing. There are 2 photographs of the primary street facing elevations of the house that you are oriented to them. The first piece that we're seeking approval on is shown in the second photograph, and the proposed modification in the sketch that is page 3 of the attachments. And it is to replace on the first floor what is now a double mullion window with a single double-hung window. So you have the sketch that shows this. He actually had shown this as part of our bigger renovation a couple of years ago, and for budget reasons, we didn't implement this particular item. So we're bringing it back to make sure that you approve of it, even though it wasn't incorporated into a prior design that you have seen. The second element is to add shutters on the east elevation. So if you look at the first photograph, it's the elevation with the triple window. That's correct. You're exactly right. And I want to emphasize here on all these items, very open to the commission's feedback on your thoughts about this. The shutters on the front elevation were part of the proposal that you approved 2 years ago. The architect had drawn the shutters limited to that one elevation. and really on the theory that shutters wouldn't have served a function traditionally on a triple window. And as built, I've struggled a little bit with the appearance because to me it looks like there's detail on that front elevation and the east elevation looks a little plain in comparison. But truly, I welcome your feedback. I made myself wait a year before bringing this forward to you to see if I could live with it, and I felt that it needs an improvement. So you have a sketch there of what it would look like with the same style of shutter. The other two components are both fencing components. The first is to install a lattice style fence to conceal the HVAC units. They're pretty well concealed from the street, but not 100%. So this, I think, would improve upon that. So it's just an L-shaped fence that's approximately 4 feet wide on the street side and approximately 16 feet lengthwise going back from the street, partially visible from the street. And then the last element would be to install a 3-rail fence along our western boundary. This is barely visible from the street, but it would be a 64-foot length of fence, 3 rails high, there is a photograph. The last of the attachments is a sample of the style of fence. So I think they call it a state rail, where it is a machined diamond pattern rail. There are several examples of that throughout the neighborhood. Both the fence components would be natural cedar, unpainted, so that it just weather. Those are the main components. The window specifications would be identical to the rest of the house that you have previously approved. All the other windows were replaced back in 2023. They are vinyl clad. They have simulated divided lights with muntins applied to the exterior as well as the interior. And they are manufactured by what I think people commonly know as Harvey, which has been brought out by Lansing. So the manufacturer is now Lansing for those.
Well, I want to commend you on your prudence in waiting a year before you make changes, because that's hard to do. And sometimes it's really worthwhile to do that. So good for you.
I tried. Thank you.
And I like the look of the 3 rails versus some are 2 rails. I kind of like that. I'm a little confused, if you could help me, about number 1, replace double mullion window on the west elevation. So does that show in this photograph?
It is. So the window without shutters on the first floor that has a push in front of it.
This.
Yes. I'm
Okay.
calling that a double mullion just because it has a pair of.
And you're gonna replace it. It's gonna be 3 windows?
Just
No,
one.
it's gonna be the
One.
same.
It'll be a smaller.
Okay.
Single.
I'm easily confused. So
No,
thank you. Thank you, Erin.
It's confusing on that.
No, it's me. Everybody else, I think.
No, it took me a minute.
Okay.
A portion of that window would be identical to the 2 on the front.
I see. Oh, okay. Okay. That makes a lot more sense to me now. Thank you.
Hey, Paul, the north and the east elevation photo of this one here,
Yes.
are you, I know you're proposing the shutters on the triple. What about the double in the doghouse dormer? Is that getting shutters too?
No, I don't think there's enough width of wall space beyond it. And,
Yeah, okay.
So I'm not proposing that.
Got it. Thanks.
Sorry about my phone going off.
Oh, we didn't hear it.
Oh, good.
Or at least
I
I
think for
didn't.
the record, we should note that this is a non-conforming home structure. As far as our regulations are.
1985.
And I think technically you're still within your last approval for that window issue. You're still within that.
Thank you. I contemplated
There's
that,
like a
but then I
3-year
chatted about
grace
it
period, yeah.
and decided in an abundance.
Oh, yeah, you're doing these other things, but, we appreciate that you're crossing Ts and dotting Is.
Any other questions or comments on the
I have a question.
presentation, which was very thorough, very appreciative, Paul?
Question. Will you be having light on your fence? This one shows lights on top of the fence.
Oh, no, that is not an intent.
It's a sample, but I mean, that's why I want to ask you what
Yeah,
you
that's,
consider lights or not.
that's, an internet sample.
Right.
I didn't realize.
I thought it was another house in North.
Oh, yeah, I didn't notice that either. You got a sharp eye. I see that now. Well, you could. Orange for Halloween,
I think-
red
I
and
think
green for.
All the lights are right here on top. I'm not sure if they're running
I think
Christmas lights
there's,
on.
I think they are.
Solar.
I went by this, now this is the front of the house, correct?
Yes, it is.
I wanted to make sure this morning when I went by. And there's only a few walkers on the street this morning.
Okay, anything else?
I don't have anything else.
Okay, if there are no other questions or comments, we can entertain a motion.
I'll move that we approve this application as presented to us, no changes.
I would second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. We're all set.
I think you're right about adding the shutters on that.
That's cute. It's whatever.
I'll
And
second.
And please rejoin the meeting.
Yeah, you don't get off that easy.
Okay, Tom, I know you're there. I can recognize the back of your head, but good to see you.
We need to close the public hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Close the public hearing. We did that before we voted.
Oh, okay.
You need a second?
Yeah.
Alan seconded.
Alan,
Yeah, technically, we should close the public hearing before voting.
Space.
Okay, Tom.
Well, okay. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Tom McNukie. I am your building official here in town. I've been to a lot of your houses. Multiple times. I'm going to talk about different materials that are available today that would be suitable for the historic district. So a little bit about my experience. I started in construction in 1980, and I was a small child when I started.
Clearly.
Very small child. I worked for Bogart Construction out of Essex, and I worked on hundreds of antique homes, older homes, lived in an 1859 federal for 25 years. One of the first major projects that I did was in 1981 was connected to the museum. We took it from the old warehouse that it was and turned it into the museum. It did all the interior trim, a lot of stuff in there. I also went back with 12 years or so ago, and after they had fire, put it back together a second time. So that was kind of a full circle event. I started as a carpenter. I consider myself a carpenter, even though I've done multiple other things. But I love carpentry. I've been doing it for a long time. I still occasionally help out friends on weekends, not in Old Saybrook, other places. And, I just love doing it. I love work. So I've got your list of what you have for approved products right now. And we can talk about them and then some of the other things. I'll just go through one by one. So for AZAC, plastic trim materials, so mostly this will be used on exterior trim, soffits, ribs, corner boards, things like that. As a carpenter, I hate it. It's plastic, but it is a good product as far as being on the seashore, and it takes weather excellent. You can paint it. It is a good product, but I hate working with it because it's not good. But some of the other products that have come out, this is one that I see a lot. It is an excellent product and very, very similar to AZAC. It's called Boral, and Boral is compressed ash. It is, this is used a lot in a lot of the high-end homes now. It's extremely expensive. You work with it like wood. It's cuts like wood. It's very, very dusty. Obviously, it's very fine composite, but it's not plastic. It is actually ash that is compressed.
How do you spell that? Boral?
Borel. You can pass this around. So this is a piece of trim.
So I would assume because it's not plastic, it stands up to sun and weather better than
Exactly.
plastic, yeah.
It doesn't have the expansion and contraction like the PVC does. You don't have to glue it together like you do with PVC. The joints don't come apart.
You said that was more expensive, Tom?
Yes, more expensive than that.
No.
This is also, this is nickel gap siding. Then we have barn. You can see this vertically. This goes on all this stuff, but this is a one byproduct that you can use.
That is
different
nice.
grades for this too.
So what are all the different things that they can make with this?
They can make anything with this.
So they could make like fencing?
No, it has to be attached. So
Okay,
just like AZAC, it has to, well, I mean, we make AZAC fencing. But,
yeah,
I think this has to be adhered to the house.
okay.
So,
But this is very interesting.
yeah,
Yes, it is.
Is this considered a renewable product because of its
yeah,
ash?
it's got a lot of sustainability, yes, because it's ash.
What about painting? Because I know, for instance, with AZAC, we personally run into this, painting like dark colors is difficult. And you have to have special paint for it. Can this be painted any color?
It's going to contract like this. I know we're talking about trim, but this is also floral fibers.
Oh, nice.
These are large. This is like for a 6-inch. I mean, obviously for colonial homes, we're going to do a 4-inch. But these are clabbers that are made out of the same product. And again, the surface of them is very similar to what you're going to find in wood. The difference in all these products, as you can see, the bottom edge of it is they're very sharp. The edges are a sharp feel to them, whereas a clapboard has more of a rolled, eased edge.
Oh, okay.
The cedar clapboard.
Okay.
So that's kind of what the difference.
But it has nice texture to
Do they
it.
suck up the paint? So we're talking about three coats and stuff too?
No, I don't think
How old is this product?
really, no,
I've never heard of it.
yeah, I've been out of the industry for 8 years and I never used it.
Okay.
So it's within the last 5 years.
He's
okay.
got on display a beard. They have it on display over a beard trying to promote it.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Have you dealt with any homeowner who's used it at this point?
Yeah, a lot of, not in North Cove, but
Yeah.
yeah, in town. Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay, and so far so good?
Yeah, and I keep in touch with the people that I used to work with in construction, and they use it all the time. That's what they're using more than AZAC. So they're not really using AZAC.
Tom, does the AZAC or the Boral have to be drilled before the nails go in, or?
No, I mean, AZAC doesn't, I don't think this does either.
You can drive a nail through
Yeah, I mean, driving on it, yeah. I think you have to be careful on the ends, just like anything else with wood. I think you would want to shear off, you know, throw an end there, but I think you can nail it straight through. That's That's that for trim products. Whatever,
Can you buy that in the color that you want, or do you have to
you
get it?
know, it all comes like that. You have to pay it. Here's just another. Trim. This is made out of PVC and rice hulls. So it's another
Oh, I like it.
sustainable product that is out there. There's a bunch of different ones at least. That's not as heavy.
What's it called?
I don't know what it's called. It's PVC and rice hulls.
And this is exterior?
Exterior product. Yeah.
I'm sorry, PVC and what?
Rice hulls.
Rice holes.
Hulls.
Holes.
HULLS.
Okay, oh, rice holes, right.
Like the byproduct of whatever. So those are some of the composites, that we see. So I would highly recommend, getting Billboard on this list. I think it's a better product and more in keeping with the historic stuff that these apples. I think the look of it, the shape of it, they can do pretty much anything with it. You can route it, you can put it into all kinds of different patterns. I think it's a really good product to use.
Yeah, did you?
Do you have thoughts on window framing? Like as in aluminum versus PVC versus?
Yes, we're gonna.
Oh,
yeah, we'll get.
Apologies,
We're gonna
okay.
get to that. Actually, that is nice. And then you have AZEK or Trex boards already for porch decks and stuff. And we just find some, sample of that. All familiar with this. Used it. So the thing with this is this. So if it's done properly and you picture frame the product, you never see this. And again, most everybody in North Cove are hiring good contractors. Good contractors know enough not to let this end stick out. When I see this on houses, it makes my skin crawl. But yeah, but it's again a good product. This particular product is 50-year warranty on this. This is a fairly new vinyl that they've come out with a 50-year warranty.
Is that different from Trex deck?
It's a very similar product. It's just not the same brand.
Oh, okay.
Tom, when you install this on a deck, what's the usual distance between the beams, so you don't see a sag later on?
They can go 16 on some. They don't have to go 12. I know Trex had some issues with that when it first came out, and then we kind of through the process.
Tom, if you're running on 12, if you run it on a diagonal, you gotta go to 12 inch,
Okay,
because hypotenuse is
So
too
then
far.
I think it's too far.
thank you.
Just for comparison, this is easy. Epay. This is Brazilian hardwoods. That is real wood. It's almost as heavy. Price wise, the price, they're almost identical. This has gotten so expensive that the prices are almost the same. So we're continuing to use a real wood.
So these products you're showing us now, they're more expensive than natural
You
wood?
can't lift the 20 footers anymore, they're so heavy.
Oh,
Insane.
nice.
Petroleum products, basically.
Worst slivers in the business.
This is?
iPad, yeah, and it also destroys your saw blade,
Yeah, stains your clothes.
blows them apart. It's just
Really?
one job and you're done, yeah.
Yeah, and you have to be careful cutting. I mean, you should be wearing a respirator cutting this stuff because everything that's coming off of the walls and stuff, will be adjusted.
Wouldn't you say that's true for all the
I
materials?
Yeah,
IPD.
I mean,
Tom, do they still recommend the clear coat on the edge?
yeah, if you don't seal the ends, it checks.
Well,
It's cracking,
yeah.
drying out on the ends.
That's a Jersey boardwalk, it's all IP, it's incredible. Expensive, that must have been.
That's what Connecticut, we were seeing that fire, they got grants to replace all of the docks.
IP.
12,000 living feet of that. We did all the docks. 3 pairs of jeans.
It's
Just it just stains your jeans, the oils. It's still in place. Okay, so this is another natural product too that's out. We're looking at siding and things like that. This is, and we're gonna see a lot of this, it's just an odd one of Ambara, which I've never heard of. And it's been thermally modified. So what I was told, they bake it and steam it, and they get all the sugars out of it, out of the wood, so it doesn't rot.
Hmm.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different things that are out there.
Oh, no.
I wonder, are any of these better than others for storm, like storm-related construction?
They're all good for the salt, the wind.
Yeah,
They'll take it.
They
The
will.
Composites will.
the composites will.
With wood, it can wear out wood.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sand in the air that
Mhm.
you just don't realize it. And, wood shingles and clapboards, it does wear away out. All right, now we're gonna talk about windows. So you've approved vinyl clad windows, as one of the things that you can do, but not aluminum. I guess it has never been on your
It
list.
was not, yeah, it was never specified,
It was
but,
never
but we've
specified.
been told by two different architects that that's a superior product.
It is. So I printed out some stuff I couldn't get a sample of it. I don't know if that would help you, but, we can pass these around. You can look at them quick. But the double hung windows, a vinyl window, of course I'm going to say this, and I'll just talk about vinyl windows. So the double hung windows, they're aluminum, extruded aluminum on the outside and wood on the inside. These are Marvin units. I put in a ton of these. The difference between the extruded aluminum and the vinyl is the corners, the edges, everything is sharp. Everything is a square, nice square, sharp line. Whereas with the vinyl, it tends to roll. It's just part of the process of how they make vinyl windows. It kind of rolls around something, so everything's softer. So if you want to be more authentic, the aluminum, extruded aluminum is more authentic looking than the vinyl windows. The aluminum is now with the Seacoast finish that they put on it is incredible. It really takes the weather. It doesn't fade. I think a lot of it, again, the original aluminum windows, you always thought of cheap aluminum windows. That you got the aluminum siding company, got the windows, and they were really, really cheap, and there wasn't much to them. Well, they kind of changed all that. Marvin especially changed all that when they went to these extruded aluminum and they got into details. So Marvin has a whole section on their website for historic moldings. So all these different profiles that you can look at and provide that match historic homes. So they've kind of really bought into it. But the difference is the aluminum is just sharp, clean lines, and the vinyl just tends to roll. Both good products, but the look is a little cleaner than actually.
Is there a way that we could specify sort of like you mentioned the old way they used to make them? I mean, I'm sure there's some of the old ones
Yeah.
still out there floating around. Like, is there a way, is it literally extruded aluminum windows? Like, is there a way to
But
verbally?
again, in the historic district,
Yeah.
I'm not seeing. You're going to see Marvin windows. You're going to see good windows. I mean, the windows that you're putting in, those are good windows too. They're vinyl, but those are excellent windows. Most people in the historic district aren't going to be buying the cheapest windows. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. You can't specify manufacturing. Well, maybe it's, again, if you're replacing windows, you have to come in. So you'll be able to see what they're putting in. You're going to be able to see the product.
You mentioned a Seacoast finish.
Mhm.
Can you tell us more about that?
It's just a paint finish that is more, stands up better to the salt water.
Okay, so you would have to specifically ask for that when you ordered your window. Okay.
And most of the salesmen. So it's an upcharge. So
I'm sure it is.
they're going to get you, they want you to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if it lasts longer, it's not really an upcharge.
Mhm.
in the long run.
Sure.
How long should a typical aluminum clad seacoast finished window last?
I think they're going to 50 years.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I think. Finish. So Marvin had, yes, Marvin had a lifetime finish.
Lifetime, yeah, just did a whole bunch from the other day.
Yeah, they have a lifetime finish, but.
Yeah.
Stuff is baked on, it's.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Especially on the aluminum, that really adheres.
Mhm.
So, yeah. And the same thing with the mullions, that Paul was talking about his mullions, it's the same thing with the aluminum. There's, mullions on the outside, mullions on the inside. And with Marvin, everything on the inside is good.
I'm sorry, sometimes don't get things right. I just want to make sure I'm understanding. Because we just talked about a 50-year warranty and a lifetime warranty.
Mhm.
So the 50-year, that would be for a vinyl clad and the
No,
lifetime is for an aluminum clad or?
No, it's within the same product. It depends on what kind of finish.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, thank you.
On whose lifetime you're talking about, I guess.
Don't invite. Don't leave yourself wide open there.
So then some of the other, siding materials too, you don't have much on here for siding.
Mm-mm.
So some of the things that I'm seeing, this is not a great example of it, but this is a solid vinyl shingle. So this is exactly what a wood shingle looks like. You know, with the taper. Same thing with the finishes. So this is something that's fairly new in the last few years. I've seen this a few times. This I couldn't get a really good one that I wanted to get, but this is just an example of it. Saybrook Point, all the shingling that they did, that's what this is. It's all vinyl shingles. Solid color through and through. You work with them just like you do a wood shingle. They get nailed up. They're individual pieces. So it's not vinyl siding. The only issue you guys are going to have is if you did accept a product like this or put it in here, you have to be careful that somebody doesn't say, oh, you said vinyl siding is fine. And then
Absolutely.
you've got vinyl siding. So that would be, if you wanted to go this way, again, you can take a look at it. It's just another product that's out. It's very, very similar to, I've never worked with it. I've seen it several houses, actually down on the beach.
It is an issue for sewer districts, especially because the cedar that lasts any length of time is
There's nothing
impossible to get.
Right, exactly.
Any, idea how long the paint finish lasts on this?
I'm not sure.
So it's still new enough.
Yeah, I'm not real familiar with it. I
It's
guess,
not painted, so it's the same color throughout the whole.
yeah, I think it's through and through color. So, but I think you can paint it.
I know, but
So it's just called a solid.
You're not gonna
vinyl.
have variation.
Solid vinyl.
Yeah. It's just gonna look.
No,
In-
it's
With integral color.
Yeah.
no shrinkage on these, like a wooden shingle.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not real familiar.
So it's still new. Yeah.
Seen it a couple times. So, and I, you know, who knows if it's gonna feel like a potato chip too, right? That's what happened on this one. Some of the other siding products, this is specific that you haven't done. So this is, hardy plank. So this is what a clapper is in hardy plank. And again, they've kind of attempted to roll the bottom edge like a clapper. It's an excellent product. It's fireproof, takes paint grade. Difficult to work with as far as putting joints together. You can see the end of it, how, you know, when you cut it, it's not clean and stuff. That's more of a carpentry thing. And the joints get caught together. But this is another product that, you know, you might want to consider, but it's cement.
Hey, Bill, this has come up before with the Hardy backer. We've been
we haven't.
very reluctant to even
Right.
entertain Hardy backer, the cement board.
But
Yeah, it's basically
cement.
made with cement, you're right. Hmm.
So it's not historic, but I just want you to see it.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Appreciated.
Tom, does a town, but one of the town buildings have the hardy board on it, like the Kirtland building? I know it was talked about a few years ago.
Sure, maybe the Chamber of Commerce has, I'm not sure. Yeah. It actually does soak up moisture though too. If you don't paint it, you don't paint the ends, it'll actually decay and rot. It soaks up moisture and falls apart. This one's kind of hard to understand. This is a hardy, these are shingles. So I only have one panel, but what happens is the next panel goes over top and the joints are in a different spot. And it goes like that and you kind of lap it over. But these are the shingles that, again, this is a cement product. This comes pre-painted. You can pick your colors, and I think it's got a fairly long warranty on the finish. So, again, not a huge fan, but there you go. Something like this.
And the hardy board, the shingle and the clapboard both have to be drilled for this?
As I recall, no, you can actually, we're talking about pneumatic.
And then it's just.
Right.
Yeah, you actually get.
Fast enough to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just never.
So I worked with Hardy Plank a few times, about stone construction.
It's bulletproof and it really does take paint really well. But it's a bitch to work with.
Yeah.
It really is.
No cement.
Yeah, I know.
That's really what it is.
Carpentry cement doesn't go together, you know?
No.
No.
Any experience with this product?
No, I've just seen it being used, now, recently. And it was really nice. I mean, it looked really great. It's not even the Saybrook Point. That's what Saybrook Point is. The yellow shingles, those all came yellow. That was, they're white. They're not panels, they're individual shingles. So, what else do we want to talk about? Typical windows. I mean, just wood in general. From when I started in construction to now, the durability, quality, it is nowhere near what it was. We used to buy at Grid Lumber here in Old Saybrook. They had clear all part ready, stacks and stacks and stacks. It was a beautiful material, straight, clear, 18-foot lengths. It was beautiful for trim. Of course, the record when they stopped doing it. But even the cedar that we bought, the clear cedar, was beautiful, it was solid. The stuff I see now, I mean, just it's literally is cracked, it's falling apart. And now, with this stuff, it's just not the same.
Yeah, you lose the old growth trees. The grain pattern is so different today. It is. It's amazing.
Grains aren't as tight.
Right. It's sad when it takes stuff off my house and looking at cross-cut something, it's like, wow, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
The grain pattern today, it's just garbage, you know? It's terrible.
So that is what is kind of brought products like this to the board. But can you still get it? Yes. Yeah. It just costs a lot of money. Still get all this stuff. This is the same with roofing materials. Red cedar shingles for the roof. It's probably 20 years for those. They're gone in 20 years. It used to be 50. When I started, those were 50-year roofs for the big shingle roof. Now, we're lucky if they get 20 out. So, just has changed so much.
Because that was what about, or is there anything new in roofing materials? Because I know asphalt comes up a lot and that was.
Well, it comes up once in a while. I mean, the vinyl shingles is one thing.
Mm-hmm. But for historic homes, I know that.
So they do make composite roofs that look like wood.
They say they look like wood.
They say they look like.
I haven't seen one yet that I thought looked like wood.
I'm totally with you on that. You can always tell.
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah, it's just a different thing.
But if you have an old, let's say you have 1700s home, and so what if cedar is really difficult to find? What are your options for roofing at this
Well, I
point?
think that might be one to think about.
Yeah, fine.
Like that
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're recommending.
for roofs?
These are
Oh,
That's
These are sidewalls.
oh, okay. I didn't understand that.
So there's a product on this roof right now. It's supposed to look like tile, like slate tiles. It's vinyl. And it is right now cupping like this. It didn't work. It was, I got a really good deal.
Great.
But it's not in great shape.
Hmm.
So this stuff, using this stuff on the roof. I don't
Okay,
know.
I misunderstood.
Yeah, I don't know if it has a future of that. And the sidewall looked beautiful. And like I say, Saybrook Point looks gorgeous. Yeah, I think that looks really nice.
Hmm.
But
Okay. Well, this is really helpful.
Yeah.
I'm a
So,
purist.
Me too.
Thanks,
So
Tom.
Tom, Tom, to what extent do you, if you can sort of capsulize it, would you think we ought, as a commission, authorize use on historic contributing houses for both siding and window trim?
So I would recommend Borel, as an alternate product that they could use for window trim, for clapboard siding and for, rakes and soffits. I don't think hardy board has any place in a historic home. I don't think those vinyl shingles have a place in a historic home either, in my opinion. But I wanted you to see it.
yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
No, because I mean, it does help us if somebody brings an application and wants to use these materials.
Right.
If we're at least somewhat familiar with them.
I think you have to, I think you should put something in for aluminum clad windows. I think that is, when you've got vinyl clad, you should have aluminum clad windows. As an option.
Tom, would you remove AZEK as a permissible product?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think once it's painted, it looks like wood, it looks like Burrell, it looks, it looks the same. And it has a great durability. But I don't think you should remove it because it does have its place. It can be used
Okay.
for window trim. They make AZAC window sills that have a very historic profile. So I don't think it should be removed, but I think Burrell should be added.
And we should also add the aluminum clad.
Correct, yes.
On the siding, other than Burrell? Or should we leave it at that?
Yeah, I would leave it. I do not recommend the hardy plank as far as.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, anything historic, it doesn't really have a place.
Burrell, that's a proprietary trade name. Is that one manufacturer or is that a generic description of that product?
Not that familiar with it, yeah. I don't know if that's,
Google, find that out.
yeah, I don't know if that's a trade name.
That's the only concern I would say for our criteria.
Right.
Don't think we should have a particular name.
Yeah,
You mentioned it too.
Right.
Particular manufactured
Manufacturer.
product. Is AZAC a generic name or is that a
No,
product?
that's a product, that's a manufacturer. AZAC is a product,
That's a brand, yeah.
that's a brand.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of clear something, there's all kinds of.
There's other competitors to AZAC.
Right.
Just the AZAC's by far most prevalent, largest in the country. It's a great product, and there's so many different versions of it today for detailing your home.
Yeah.
But
So
it does
maybe we should
expand.
just take AZAC out, just have it PVC trim.
Yeah, I would agree with
This
that.
is,
That's-
Well, but there's PVC and there's PVC.
Yeah. Can we?
I mean, I have AZAC fencing at my home.
Yeah.
I have friends who have PVC fencing. The difference in quality
Uh-huh.
is
Sure.
huge. So I don't think we want to just say PVC.
Maybe there's another name for it. I can look into that for you.
Yeah.
And see if there's a more general name for
Type.
AZAC trim.
Right, yeah, like Jessica's saying, maybe, AZAC or
Similar.
comparable
Yeah.
material.
Yeah. I'm trying to say this, but they just don't make it like they used to.
Well, that is the truth. I found this very helpful.
I did too.
Yeah, good stuff.
I appreciate it. Really, really was very, very good. Very helpful. So I guess the commission has to consider how, and to what extent we want to amend our regulations for use by the homeowners. And I don't know if we want to try to do that tonight or think about it and talk about it next time, or somebody come up with a draft.
That's what I think we ought to do a draft
Yeah.
or 2 or 3 and carefully consider. And then it'll have to be circulated on the website and maybe even notice sent to our homeowners within
Yeah.
this time that there's been an update.
Alan, would you want to spearhead that sort of?
Sure. Got it. Yep. We're gonna set up shop in here. We're gonna chop saw. We're gonna do demos in here.
Okay, okay.
So since it's not part of the regulations, I don't think you have to go through the public hearing process. You just decide on your own as a commission, but I'll look into that just to make sure.
I'll just draft up a summary and then we can edit it and alter it.
It would go in our guidelines, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's where I think it's been fit into the guidelines in previous situations.
The substitute materials approved by Historic District Commission December 15, 2016.
Yeah,
I'll have to see what amending that requires. It's not in the regulations. I don't think it's a whole public hearing process, but I will.
I think that's right on that.
Bill, should I get that circulated before the October meeting?
That'd be great if you could do that. Yeah.
Okay, well.
October meeting or September meeting?
I thought the next one was October. I thought somebody said that. I just made a note of that, but I might be wrong.
No,
16.
they put out October as a date for the SHPO people.
Oh, that's right.
So
Okay,
really it'd be better to do it separate from that meeting.
yes, okay. I'll try to get it for the 16th. It might be tight for me, but okay.
Do you have a copy of this? What we already have on substitute materials?
I probably don't, so if I get a copy of that, it might help me just craft the.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't seen that before. I don't remember seeing that in the criteria.
Just want to copy it. Christopher's here.
It's across the hall.
Taking that.
Are you sure?
Oh, my-
How many pages?
I don't, actually, I'm gonna go with you just so,
Okay.
next time I don't like that.
Tom, you keep these supplies in your
Thanks.
I'll keep, some of them have to be back, but I'm gonna keep some. I had friends dropping things off in the parking lot.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure if you kept a limited supply in the office all the time.
We're trying to clean out. Because we're rid of things.
Nope.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have anything else for Tom before we move on to our next agenda item?
I do not.
Tom, thank you very much. Again, appreciate it.
Can you help carrying all that stuff?
Okay, later.
You need a hand with it, Tom?
Okay.
Are you just going out of your office? Okay. Mine help. Yes, it is. I can't even pick up a 16 anymore. I'm too weak.
Isn't there a house over by the town beach? That's all you pay, that very modern one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't think that's pay though, because
It's not.
it's usually not used like, it's usually just used for decking.
Oh, it is. Okay,
Yeah,
it's not
just
for siding.
horizontal surface, yeah, generally.
Okay, we have old business, the CLG grant opportunity agenda item, which has been on off and on or mostly on for quite a while. Is there any update on that? Other than the meeting that's coming up in October?
Well, can we talk about that meeting first for a second?
Oh, sure.
Because I think the important piece of this being successful is going to be trying to get the word out. I know we talked about potentially partnering with the Historic Society and trying to use their mailing list, right? We talked about trying to get out word so that we could have a bigger showing of that.
Mhm.
And then I would think we would want to do some basic flyers, right? And stuff like that.
I think you're right.
In order for us to, and then where are we thinking about having it, right? So that we have some more space. I know we talked about maybe the library and then maybe down
I think
downstairs.
conference room.
Okay. Downstairs.
First floor,
Yeah.
I'll have to see if it's available.
Because I think we'll want to, for it really to be successful, right? We'd want to try to get some more people to come.
So I spoke with Marie McFarlane and she said she was okay with promoting it on the Historic Society's website and through their social media
Awesome.
Well, now you need to talk to.
channels. So no, Wayne. I'll see him tomorrow. I can mention that tomorrow.
Yeah, you should, because he won't be on.
No, there's an awful lot going on, right? So, but yeah, she was okay with that.
I can help make a flyer or some visuals and stuff. I just need to bounce stuff off somebody. For specifics of this meeting.
Well, Lynette is probably the go-to person on
Okay.
Yeah.
specifics.
They're
Okay.
supposed to get me a little summary of what they're gonna talk
Oh,
about.
great.
and
Okay.
I gave her suggestions on what you wanted to discuss. Okay. Sometimes they just have a canned presentation.
Okay.
So I'll remind her that we need to advertise.
Thanks for stepping up to do that.
Okay, great. Do we want to talk anything more about the grant opportunities or not?
Well, the one that came up last time was the sign one, right? And we were looking for Alan to talk about that, right? Didn't we?
Yes. Are we talking about the interpretive?
No, sign Main Street.
Well, both. It was both, right?
Oh,
We talked about
we're
the
just talking
maybe
about it.
interpretive too, right? We were talking.
For where?
Remember we talked about maybe interpretives, like picking a couple other spots in town,
Oh, we
right?
did?
And then, yeah, and then we talked about the Main Street ones too.
You're just talking about house placard. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jess and I are sort of sharing that project. Got a little bit tabled, but we're trying to come up with one standard size and font that would make sense, whether it's oval or rectangular. And this is something that we try to make money on and offer and literally go door to door and ask if somebody is interested. Because some people are going to hate the idea, unfortunately. But, you know, it's sort of like Essex where you go in town, every sign's identical.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for, sort of something.
When you say
Uniform.
make money on, what do you mean?
For the Historic Society,
Oh,
yeah, just as a, I don't want to say a fundraiser, but you know, we're not want to lose on it, but that
Oh,
way.
do they cover the cost?
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah. And those signs are AZAC actually. Sign Pro does them in AZAC, and then the decal sticks so beautifully to the AZAC and it won't peel off and won't change color. They're just white.
Mhm.
There's a special screw we use that's, you know, white and plug, and it's also PVC plug. So,
Do you have any idea of a cost for one ballpark?
yeah, they're about $40. And probably get a little better price if we're gonna do, you know, 100 of them, random, yeah.
We don't have 100 buildings.
probably true. But hope to rekindle that this fall.
Yeah.
One of our 29 other things going on in our lives, right?
Okay, any other items for this meeting?
Well, Erin mentioned that, I guess I forgot this, but, apparently we mentioned doing a couple more interpretive signs.
Yeah, once upon a time, because I know we've been talking about this for a long time. We
Where were
talked
we?
about, well, we talked about either replacing the one into town, right? And then we talked about maybe doing one for one of the beach communities, talk about this, right?
Yeah,
Because we were just brainstorming, looking for
Yeah.
other ways to,
yeah,
you know, the
So-
educational component.
right, yeah, so. If it fits in our budget, I guess we could do that.
Well, I know, Lynette, there was a bunch of grants, right? That if we wanted to, of varying.
There is a grant program,
Yeah.
as a CLG community, you're eligible for the grant program. One is a matching grant, so the town would have to offer the rest of the money. Another is not, and what you can apply for is different in those two grant programs, and it's limited to what they're interested in funding.
Mhm.
So I remember I handed out copies of both applications.
You
You
did.
could see specifically what they were funding.
I didn't
There was a
bring that
discussion
stuff.
about whether the signs would fall under the non-matching grant program as an educational effort. So did that might qualify?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of requirements that need to be presented to the application.
Because I need 30%
For that grant.
this jurisdiction.
We have to read the application again and see
Yeah, I don't-
all the things that you have to be able to fill out for it. We're showing that this is an education program and they meet their budget.
And that, we had a question, Jess and I were copying an email from Marie the other day before she fell. And talking about the interpretive signs, just referencing the ones down toward the point in the park. As a project, because a couple of them are so faded from UV light, you can barely read them anymore. We were just wondering, sharing notes before, whether that's this jurisdiction or historic society jurisdiction, or
I think it might be. Well, it's certainly Parks and
Yeah.
Rec jurisdiction,
okay,
and
And
that
that's-
property, anything that goes in there has to go to Parks and Rec.
makes sense, sure.
As far as who would pay for it, it's a question mark. I think they'd be happy to let another entity design the signs, someone with some expertise about history, unless you're just replacing what's already there. And then I don't know whose budget that would come out of, that would have to be.
So when those were done, if memory serves me correctly, we gave some money, the commission gave money toward it, but we
Okay.
weren't involved in the ordering, the designing, or any of that stuff.
Okay.
When you did the ghost sign, what did that cost? That sign?
And the ghost sign.
Because they don't have to pay for the stand, but we gotta pay for the
For
service.
the interpret, I thought you
Yeah.
were talking about.
No, just the interpretive sign.
Yeah, no, I mean, it includes the stand and everything.
Right,
so-
which in this case, we,
It was under $2,000, I thought,
I think it was.
yeah.
so a little less.
Marie specifically mentioned the Gardener's Landing sign.
Yeah, well, I walked down there with her like a half year ago and she was pointing out this one's terrible, this one's not. But,
That's what you said a couple of weeks ago.
yeah,
Park and Rec has a bigger budget,
yeah, I
Yeah.
clearly don't.
and so
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
So if it's replacing what's there with
He placed the
a
orders,
new,
same
thing.
Yeah,
then
I
just
would
make sure
say
the
same
design's
thing. I mean,
already-
Park and
if you want to
I mean,
redesign it,
if
starting
we're,
from
if we're
scratch.
gonna be involved.
It's the
because
space.
the-
I know, I just met with him.
Is cringy.
You know who I mean.
I don't even-
He did the actual
But, like,
ordering.
The terminology will need
Who
to be
else?
updated.
I don't remember who
Perhaps, I
else,
have no idea what it says.
I don't either.
but we just gave them some money.
Gotcha.
And that's part of the reason we became a certified local government, was to enable us to give money to a different entity to do something.
Interesting, didn't know that. All right,
But I think that would be, it's really a question of like, I mean, we talked about this a year ago of like, what is our next project, right, as a group? So I think, to me, it's a question more about like, what do we want to take on as our next project?
Well, I think we need to be careful. We don't have a lot of money.
Yeah,
So I think there's two really great things that we're talking about. These are, historic plaques. I don't know if you were talking about just for Main Street or for homeowners as well.
We had no,
And then
scope.
I don't know if it makes sense to put new signs or to replace old interpretive signs, but I think the idea of putting something at one or other areas like Cornfield Point or Indian Town or whatever that are historic areas punches up, that there's more historic to this town than just North Cove.
I agree.
That's my opinion.
I mean, each beach area has their own history involved. From, like the Knollwood, the developer that came in and developed it, that there's maps around showing where all the plots were divided, and then Indian Town and, a fellow by the name of Chapman that owned all the land from Oyster River all the way out to the Westbrook line almost, and their family developed a lot of that. Beacon Hill, and then donating the land to the Cub Scouts, which later on became Crystal Lake.
I know that.
The only thing about those beach communities is they are kind of exclusive. So if you live there, you can access the public parks, the beach and so forth. But if you don't live there, you really can't. So I don't know if that could be funded by this commission if it's excluding most of the community. It depends where you put
That's
it.
a good point.
Well,
Ask each beach association to fund it.
the thing is, where would you put it? Would you put it at the entrance to those areas? And are those entrances places where people would pass by? I've never.
Like on a
passed-
bicycle or walking.
Yeah,
The
which
streets are-
I know.
The streets are public
Yeah,
space.
that would be a question about.
if I was gonna pick one thing to streamline an effort, I would say I would try to pick say sort of, okay, let's find markers for historic things and like have a goal of like 50 things in town or something. And then push it beyond Main Street and try to open it up to the community and see if we could identify 50 things
Oh, we can easily.
in the next year that we want to try to target with signs, right? Whether
With a plaque, you mean?
I would say with the date plaque and even like a name, like the
Right.
Essex ones, like Captain whoever, right? 16 something, right? Whatever it is.
Mhm.
But like if we could identify 50 structures in town and then that is connected to whether we do a pamphlet that sort of like lays out our 50 that we join with the Historic Society to add to their current list.
That one?
Yeah, like exactly like that one.
Yeah.
There's 50.
And these all pretty much have names.
And my house already has one, so.
There you go. There's one down.
51.
Work with this list.
But I guess just trying to find something that we can connect it back to the education to make it a worthwhile
Right.
effort. Right?
And not too complicated.
Yeah.
And not too expensive.
And that gives us flexibility to then identify what are those 50.
So this self-guided tour was recently
Published, yeah.
updated, so.
Yeah.
Is that one Main Street specifically, or is it?
No, it's-
Primarily Main Street.
It's train station
Yeah, but
to
it-
Point.
And Northwood.
Yeah.
And Norco.
We talked about doing Old Bush Road as well. but
Yeah.
Should, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And then to me, that becomes sort of a mix of maybe we look at getting some grants for those, maybe it becomes partial fundraiser, I feel like, but at least if there's a clear goal of, okay, we want to sort of identify 50 important things.
Agree with that.
Didn't Ted Levy already make a study and produce a document about the historic places in town over 50 years old, I think he was saying.
He did a book on Main Street, maybe 2 years ago that I have. It was longer, it was in my mind. But yeah, I mean, there's an inventory and I don't know what the criteria was telling, whether it was 50 years or more years, but, there's an inventory that we have at the Historical Society.
Because we're looking at Cornfield Point,
Right.
Cornfield Park, they're 50 years old now,
Yeah,
so.
no, yeah. We have the same discussion at the Historic Society all the time, like what's considered historic. Talk about that, and you're absolutely right, like for the Cornfield Point, those probably are getting in that zone where they definitely qualify.
Before a lot of those houses get changed.
Right,
They're still
Altered.
small, single-family homes, was an error.
absolutely,
There's Levittown on Long Island, after World War II.
no question.
So do we want to kind of organize this a little bit? Aaron, do you want to be in charge of trying to put some group together to come up with
Sure.
something?
Okay, so I'm gonna try to set a more reasonable expectation. So let's say, because we're aiming for October right now. So I'm gonna say, what if by November, we try to have a draft list of structures we want to look at and a draft idea of what a sign might look, or information that might be in the sign. Maybe not what it looks like.
That sounds doable.
Maybe what it sort of,
What it
goals.
sort of, at least a mock-up of what it might
Yeah.
look like. I think
Yeah.
that's doable.
You want to have
That's
sign,
good.
just cut a couple, different blocks for samples,
Sure.
with the oval, base.
I wonder if there's like even like, I mean, there's the great one down by the pharmacy, right? That says, Lafayette stopped here, right? Like, are there any other facts maybe that could also be like, but didn't Einstein buy his groceries here? Ted Levy talks about it in one of his books, like Einstein bought groceries here one time. But like, are there some like fun, like additional facts? I don't know, that we could just
Yeah.
support.
Well, we can look.
Yeah. Okay, so I would say yes, goal is by November to have a draft of a plan forward, both with structures and sort of what are our signs gonna do? Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Something,
Otherwise, we'll
something just
never
to
do
move-
it.
I know, otherwise we're never gonna do anything.
Right. Otherwise, we just talk about it every meeting.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good.
And as far as the October 21st meeting, I just need something to give to probably Lamar,
Okay, well, I think that's like a flyer that.
Mhm.
something like that, right?
Give a map that Erin and Lynette are gonna.
Okay, but we need to figure out if we have space first, right?
A space
Yeah,
for the 21st. And then try and get some sort of, we can keep it really vague if I don't get in deep. But some kind of summary about what the talk is gonna be.
Yeah.
I think the big incentive would just be pushing them to talk about how do you get tax breaks for your historic home, right? To try to push people to incentivize actually keeping historic features.
Okay,
To me, that would be, that's why I would show up as a homeowner.
I would, yeah.
Sure, I'd get a tax break for that.
Well, it doesn't have to coincide with one of our meeting dates, I wouldn't think, but we could try that first if that's not available. I don't think we're wed to holding it on the same night as our meetings.
they are available and they did coordinate their schedules. So that's a good thing as far as trying to get this planned soon. And it's a meeting night, so I assume everybody else has that already on their calendar, so. If we could
Okay.
get there, that would be the best, because trying to come up with a new date that everybody could make. would be
Right.
A little more difficult, so hopefully we'll find a space for this.
Good, okay. Okay, unless there's anything else, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move.
Second,
I'm supposed to be somewhere.
all in favor?
Hi.
Yeah,
Aye.
thank you.
Okay, thanks all of you, appreciate it very much, and see you next month.